Welcome back to the channel. My name's Tom, and today I'm taking a look at Burlington Mall in Burlington, Massachusetts. This mall opened in 1968, and at the time it was the largest enclosed mall in Massachusetts, and it held that distinction all the way until 2007 when it was dethroned by the Natick Mall. The original anchor stores were Sears, Filene's, and Jordan Marsh, and where we're entering the mall right now actually used to be Sears up until 2018. And I believe this hallway actually used to be inside where Sears was. If I'm wrong about that, please let me know in the comments.
Looks like a Crate and Barrel or something like that.
Here's a picture taken in 2007 from roughly the same spot that we just entered the mall, and you can see at that time it was Sears.
Or a Pier 1, almost.
Now here's another picture of that same location back in 2019 when they were in the middle of tearing down the Sears and building the section that we're in right now.
No. Have you?
Today this mall has 2 floors, not counting the anchor stores, but when it opened in 1968 it was actually only a single floor. And here's a picture of what it looked like back then. And you can see it had these amazing ceilings, which are sadly long gone. And it wasn't until 1988 that they added the second floor. So like I said, this section of the mall was remodeled between about 2018 and 2022. And I would say it looks pretty nice. It's very modern, it's interesting to look at. But the rest of the mall, as I think you'll see, is very much a Simon Mall. It's very white and bland, and it looks like pretty much every other Simon Mall you've ever been to. So hopefully at some point they'll remodel the rest of the mall to look more like this.
I got a whole little Mini Cooper in there.
From what I've read, this mall is doing fairly well, even though it doesn't really look like it based on the crowd levels you're seeing in this video. But I think that might be because this was filmed on a Thursday at about 11 a.m. I think the mall had just opened fairly recently. So if you've been to this mall recently or you come here often, let me know how this looks. Does this look like a normal day at the mall, or is it usually much busier than this? And don't forget, if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, leave a comment, and hit that notification bell. Thanks.
Seems to go on and on.
Coming up on the left here, you'll see a Bank of America. And from what I've read, back when the mall opened in 1968, that was actually the location of a Stop and Shop store. And here's a photo of it.
Oh, it's a Pepe's Pizza.
Here's the Apple Store. And I think I would probably qualify this as a mid to high-end mall. It's got a lot of high-end stores, but it also has a lot of mid-range stores mixed in. So it's very nice, but it's not so nice that you feel uncomfortable being there. Like in some malls, such as like the Sono collection, for example, when I went there, I felt kind of out of place there, as I honestly probably couldn't afford to shop in any of the stores there. And that's not really the case here. There are quite a bit of the standard run-of-the-mill mall stores here.
Let's take the elevator up and down just to ride it. Oh, I guess not this one.
You getting lost upstairs? Wow. Go back out.
Down.
Oh my God, look at those right there.
That was fun.
Yeah. Smooth ride.
Now, this section of the mall here used to be one of the original anchor stores, Filene's. And Filene's closed around 2005 or 2006. I wasn't able to find an exact date online. But around 2006 to 2008, they tore down the old Filene's building.
Yep.
And they built this whole wing here, which added about 20 new stores, as well as this Nordstrom's, which became a new anchor store at the mall. And I think, generally speaking, these stores here were also much higher end than had been at the mall previous to this.
Yeah, we'll just go like this and then come on. Nordstrom E-Bar. Guess their own Starbucks. Yep. Yeah.
Another thing that's changed about this mall, pretty much like every other mall, is that it used to have water fountains. And here's a photo of one I found online. It was the only one I could find though, and I can't really tell where in the mall it was, but it would have been down this hallway at some point.
Go down here. And of course, the escalators are out of service.
Coming up at the end of the hallway here, we're going to have the third anchor store, Macy's. And Macy's opened, I think it might have been 1999. Again, I wasn't able to find an exact date online. But before it was Macy's, it was Jordan Marsh, one of the original anchor stores. Jordan Marsh closed, I believe, again, probably in the mid-90s, which is when the company went out of business, but I wasn't able to find the exact date online. And here's a picture of what this section of the mall actually looked like back when it opened around 1968. And you can see it looked totally different back then. And also, it looked much nicer, I think.
This mall reminds me a lot of the one that was down in New Jersey, Jersey City.
Oh, yes.
But they all start to look fairly similar.
Oh, they do.
They all have this white aesthetic.
Yeah. Calling the,
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. It doesn't seem comfortable. For the dog or the person, yeah.
right.
Piece of paint just flaked off.
Yeah, as we were walking along, a big chunk of paint from the ceiling fell onto the floor, so that was kind of weird. I've never had that happen before.
Something used to be here.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what.
So actually I did find out what it was. This used to be Lord & Taylor. I think the thing that was throwing me off was the fact that it didn't have the normal gray and black granite facade that almost all the Lord & Taylors had. I was able to find this one picture of it online, And as you can see, it did not have the standard look that most Lord & Taylors have, but that definitely was Lord & Taylor.
Gonna guess it was a Macy's.
There was a Macy's.
Was it?
They split. There was one at the other end.
Oh yeah, so
Some Macy's though would have Macy's name by themselves.
yeah.
Macy's furniture.
So either maybe Sears or J.C. Penney, one or the other.
Yeah.
Clearly, I didn't do any research before coming to the mall because all my guesses were wrong. Like I said, I just would never have guessed that was a Lord & Taylor because it doesn't look like any other Lord & Taylor I've ever seen before.
That kit probably costs like nearly $1,000.
Wow. I think it was got all the little furniture.
Yeah.
You want to look inside the house?
Fancy. It's an interesting name.
Legal secrets, I think.
Oh.
Now just skipping ahead a bit, instead of walking down that long hallway again, this is back to the section that was renovated around 2018 to 2022, where the Sears used to be. And you can see this section of the mall, again, in comparison to the rest of the mall, is very different. It's much more updated and much less bland, I would say, than the rest of the mall.
Looks like a fancy sit-down restaurant.
Yeah.
All right. Now up to the second floor.
And here's the food court.
Just milkshakes.
straight ahead is Primark. Primark opened in 2016, and it's in the former location of the old Sears. Now this is where it gets confusing. So online it says that Sears closed in 2018, yet Primark opened in 2016 in the location of the old Sears. So how does that work exactly? Was there a time when Sears was only on the first floor and Primark moved into the second floor? That would be my guess, but I couldn't find anything about that online. If anybody knows the answer to that, please let me know in the comments.
Yeah, no, we went to one. No. Yeah, there was one over, I can't remember which mall it was at this point, but there definitely was one. Oh, it was the one with the Sears. It was, Braintree, Mass. South Shore Mall, I think.
So here's a fun fact, I think. That Spencer's Gifts that we just walked past is actually one of only 2 stores that was here on opening day back in 1968, the other being Ann Taylor. And personally, I never would have guessed that Spencer's Gifts was one of the original stores from 1968. I didn't realize it was that old of a store, actually.
Looks like the windows are a little bit tinted here. The color's a bit off. Thought that was a candy store at first. Looks like they have a portable air conditioner. A couple portable air conditioners in there.
Oh.
AC must not be working properly. Yeah.
If you look straight across, there's Ann Taylor. And like I said earlier, Ann Taylor and Spencer Gifts are the only two stores in the mall that were here on opening day. Obviously, they've moved since opening day because they're on the second floor now, which did not exist in 1968. Here's a couple of photos taken from right about where we're standing now, back in the late 60s, early 70s, I believe. You can see in the distance there's Sears, and we've got these amazing lights, these wooden benches, which are all gone. And then on the left, it looks like there was a Radio Shack, probably right about where that camp store is now, I'm guessing. All right, well, that pretty much covers everything on the inside of the mall. But don't go anywhere yet. I'm going to do a drive around of the mall, and we can see what it looks like from the outside. So this would have been the Sears building up until about 2018. From what I understand, when the mall first opened in 1968, there was a cinema here called Cinema 1 and 2. And I believe it was located right about here, roughly. If I'm wrong about that, let me know. But as far as I can tell, it would have been right about here according to one of the old maps I have of the mall. And here's a picture of it. And I'm not sure how long that's been gone, but I would say quite a long time. Here's the old Lord & Taylor, which again closed in 2020. Here's the Macy's, which was originally Jordan Marsh. And here's a picture of Jordan Marsh from the late 80s. And you can see that the exterior of the building really hasn't changed that much other than the logo on the side. Here's the Nordstrom's, which was added around 2006 to 2008. And like I said earlier, before that, it used to be Filene's. And here's a picture of the Filene's, I believe, from the late 70s. And there you have it. That's the Burlington Mall in Burlington, Massachusetts. I hope you liked the video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, leave a comment, and hit that notification bell. Got a lot more mall videos coming up, store walkthroughs, and of course flea markets. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.